I'd like to open the meeting. Mr. Karati.
Mr. Armando?
Present.
Mr. Burek?
Present.
Mr. Nagito?
Present.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Mrs. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Sanchez? Mr. Singh? Present. Mr. White?
Present.
Mrs. Zardarelli?
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. We'll turn the meeting over to Mr. Rashika.
Good evening. Welcome. This doesn't happen very often when the brand new sound system doesn't work, so I think it was just things happen. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I am Mr. Rashika, Interim Superintendent, and it's nice to see some people in the auditorium, and I'm sure the board's very happy to have an audience. So we're going to move ahead. The first thing I want to do, though, is acknowledge Teacher and Nurse Recognition Week is this week. There are lots of things going on in the schools in collaboration with administrators, teachers, and more importantly, parent organizations that are leading up different festivities from luncheons and breakfasts and so on. Unfortunately, I cannot attend, so I remain hungry. But, so, with that being said, I do want to make a heartfelt thank you to our teachers, to our nurses, for all that they do for all of us, the children in the community, for parents and everybody. So really going out to the teachers and nurses, I truly want to thank them all for doing what they do all year long. And now I will move to the program. So this is a recognition program, and according to Webster, it's defined as a special notice or attention. So that's what we're going to do. Tonight, as your interim superintendent, and also on behalf of the entire Saddlebrook Board of Education, I would like to acknowledge the hard work of our teachers and our students for all the outstanding work that they do for us. But more importantly tonight, what we're looking at are those who took the step a bit further than what's required. They didn't just do what they had to do. They took a leap, they took a chance, and they were very, very successful. So those are the ones that we're going to acknowledge tonight. Going back to, I believe it was February, we had a professional development day, and I brought in a young man, John Paul Gonzalez, as a motivational speaker, and he also works with the New York Giants. And he shared some examples of something called the all-in mindset. And to me, looking at this and the achievements of our students, our teachers, and our parents tonight, this is all part of that all-in mindset. So I'm very proud of everybody that's going to be acknowledged tonight. And without any further ado, I am going to have our principal of the high school, Mr. Lawler, come up and start the program as we acknowledge each of you who were invited here this evening, as well as our guests, to recognition, all of our wonderful teachers, parents, and students. Thank you. Mr. Lawler?
Thank you, Mr. Rashika. And thank you to the Board of Education for inviting us out tonight. And thank you again, Mr. Rashika, for putting this great event together. The faculty and student representatives here tonight really exemplify our vision for excellence in academics, athletics, and the arts. And most important, when it really comes to our staff, we look at things like technology and books and resources. The most important thing we have in this school are the people that are educating our children. So we have a lot of our staff members here because they're doing a lot of great things. I'm going to start first with Kathy Rippis, who's nominated for the New Jersey Department of Education Exemplary Secondary Education Recognition Program. It's a lot to say. I came across this just randomly while completing one of the numerous state reports. And as I opened it up, I looked at some of the criteria, things like provides a model of excellence for the profession, engaging and inspiring presence that motivates and impacts students and colleagues, and takes on a leadership role in the school. And when I finished reading that, I was like, that's Kathy Rippis. I couldn't think of anyone else in our school that exemplifies those criteria. So please welcome up Kathy. All right, next up is Kate Pritchard, our high school photography teacher, who was nominated for the Geraldine R. Dodge Teen Arts Educator of the Year Award. Again, this is another award that came across while we're filling out our applications for the Teen Arts Festival, which is next week. And they present really just one question. What are the nominees' accomplishments, and how has it transformed your school or the school district? I could spend a good portion of this night talking about how Kate has transformed our school through the arts. She supports our goals for improving college and career readiness by developing CTE programs in photography. She's an advocate for students. She enters their work into numerous competitions, things like the Teen Arts, the Morris Museum Fresh Perspective exhibit, and the Congressional Jury Competition. She's a mentor for other teachers, and she also leads professional development to teacher colleagues on how to use photography in their classrooms. So again, I'm proud to present Kate Pritchard. Going back several years now, our school has recognized alumni that have gone on to distinguish themselves in their careers. They get presented every year at our academic awards ceremony. This year, we would like to recognize an educator. In the past, we've looked at civic leaders, military, people that have gone on to great careers in business, in medicine. And this year, we wanted to recognize alumni Charlie Klein. Charlie Klein has kept Latin as a language alive. Each year, the program grows. Charlie dedicates his time after school with the Latin Club, taking the students onto trips to the city and elsewhere to give them these great experiences. He spends countless hours supervising the production of our yearbook. He's one of the guys that have been here for 5 years now that I don't think I've heard anyone ever say a bad thing about Charlie. He's a great guy, a friend, and I'm really proud to say that Charlie will be inducted into the Saddlebrook High School Alumni Hall of Fame this year. Charlie. Our next two recipients were recognized by the Bergen County Audubon Society Teacher Recognition Program. That is Kim Gherkin and Gail Dunlap. They host each year with the Audubon Society the Great Backyard Bird Count. And what that means is that the students look into our courtyard, they track different species of birds as they migrate through New Jersey, and they help present that data to the Audubon Society to help with conservation. They spend countless hours maintaining the middle school, high school courtyard, and their efforts really inspire our students to be, quote, citizen scientists who can assist the experts with environment conservation. So please welcome Kim Gherkin and Gail Dunlap. Let's now shift our attention over to athletics, and we've had two of our coaches reach milestones this year, starting with Coach Tim Sheldon, who as the varsity baseball coach, his team won its 100th career win. It's him in the lead of the team. Tim is in his 8th year at the head of the varsity Falcons, and with a 7-1 win over North Arlington, achieved the milestone of 100 career wins. Being a coach takes countless of hours and sacrifice. Most important, Tim, through his coaching, also sets extremely high standards for our student athletes. They're model citizens and great ambassadors when they're out visiting other schools. And that's all through Tim's efforts. And thank you, Tim. Come on up. Our next coach has achieved 200 career wins as head of the girls basketball team, and this year with a 13-3 win over Woodridge back on May 2nd, 500 career wins as the softball varsity coach. Unfortunately, Coach White cannot be here. Again, I can echo what I just said regarding Coach Sheldon. The amount of hours and time and dedication that our coaches put into our programs really help provide our students with a great experience and opportunities to be successful. So if we could just give Coach Darren White a big round of applause. And now I'm going to turn over to my colleague, Dr. Santoro.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by thanking Mr. Rashika and the members of the Board of Education for allowing us this public opportunity to congratulate all our hardworking staff and students. I'd also like to congratulate all of you being honored tonight. Your hard work benefits all of us here in the district, including myself, so thank you. This evening, I have the distinct privilege and honor of honoring 3 effective and truly exceptional individuals who are members of the Washington School / Department of Special Services community. Each individual is a consummate professional and is truly inspiring to me as an educator. Virginia Lauder is being honored tonight for her exemplary demonstration of instruction. She is a valued member of the instructional team at Washington School. She takes great interest and pride in the incremental gains of her students and readily engages students, staff, and their parents in the learning process. It is for that reason and so many more that we are recognizing her tonight. So Virginia, please come up.
I can give her a kiss. She used to be one of my students in a former district.
The next individual is Marianne Schultz. She's a paraprofessional at Washington School. Marianne Schultz gives up time before school, after school, and on the weekends to make any and all preparations necessary for instruction. She is one who truly takes ownership of her students and really is available to anyone and everyone for assistance. There's not one person in the Saddlebrook School community that does not know and love Marianne Schultz. So Marianne, please come up. And the last individual that I'm choosing to honor tonight is Xiomara Hadnot. And I have to tell you that when we spoke about this, she was shocked because she was amazed that we were honoring her tonight. And I truly cannot understand why, because anyone who knows this individual knows what a dedicated individual she is. She has served time and time again to staff, students, and parents. She has helped district leadership shape and implement a vision of support to provide everyone with everything that they need all the time. She is one that is always sought after, and she is one who possesses a deep theoretical and practical knowledge regarding intervention and assessment. She is an integral member of the school community and is someone that I value. Please come forward. And now my boss.
We have, first of all, I want to say that, basically when we have board meetings, rightfully so, there are parents and other members of the community sometimes who come here and they tell us about their concerns, and we listen and we try to do the best we can. What I like about the recognition program is that we can sit back and look at all that the school district has to offer and look at our success. So I hope you enjoy this as we move ahead, but I think it's important to share the success of the school district. It's a place to be proud of. I'm happy to be in Saddlebrook, and there are lots of good things going on. So I'm going to continue. Yes. Tonight, we have two Board of Education members who have attended the Academy, New Jersey School Boards Association Academy, received a sufficient amount of credits, which means that they've completed multiple courses on their own without being something, again, that's not required, it's something that they did on their own. They take the time, they're interested, they listen to those concerns I was talking about, and we move ahead. Both of them are serving multiple terms on the Board of Education, and I'm very proud to say that they are receiving the Academy Award from, not the Academy Award from them, but the Academy Award from New Jersey School Boards. That's a bit about the red carpet. But we're going to acknowledge them because at the end of this month, May 31st, they will be receiving acknowledgments from the school board itself, New Jersey School Boards, at a meeting that they will be having. So I would like to call up for their outstanding accomplishments. First, Miss Angela Robinson. And Mr. David Garrett. I said that there would be some parents, and here's one that I got to meet very early in the year. I think two of the first people I met coming into the building was Mrs. Ween, and I met Ms. Sigmatellis. Both people have been very helpful. I am looking right now at our Education Foundation, which is tremendously successful. A lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of ideas, meetings, so on and so forth. It goes on and on. There are scholarships or grants available to teachers based on the money they raise. One of the big events is Taste of the Towns. I did eat that one, so that's good. And then the 5K and walkathons, constantly looking to enhance our programs here. So without further ado, I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Emily Sigmatellis for all her hard work. So, moving ahead, I'm going to have somebody come down from the back because this gentleman has been, I don't know if you're aware of it, but we are televised now. The show is, the meeting is actually recorded and broadcast on the local TV station. And we move the meetings into here in the new auditorium, so lots of good things are going on. But none of that would be possible without this young man taking the time to sit there with his camera, put this all together, and then send it out to the town. I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate Rich Michalski. That's right. Thanks for getting this down. I'm going to introduce Ms. Jenkins from Lawrence School.
Thank you. When I became the law principal last school year, one of the things that I think we talked about with a lot of my members of my school community was to have some type of a beautification at the front of our school. And the school district had the referendum and the new windows that were coming in, but we were interested in doing some type of a landscaping project. We have two Long Memorial dads, Mr. Bergdan and Mr. Tui, who have volunteered their time and their services and supplies, and but we kind of approached that in a unique way. We asked them if they would partner with our student council, and in exchange for our students making a donation to Make-A-Wish Foundation, would they make a donation of their time and services to our school? So this is something that we've done last year and that we did again this year. When you drive past the front of our building in the fall, you'll see that it's decorated, very festive with fall pumpkins and corn stalks, and in the office or outside the main office, we have a pumpkin weight guessing contest, and all of that is the way we have our donations go to Make-A-Wish. And all of that is possible because of Mr. Gergen and Mr. Tui, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank them publicly and to recognize them tonight. So I know Mr. Gergen couldn't be here, but Mr. Tui is here, so we can just thank you.
Start to see some students now. This young man has been very involved in his Eagle Scout project, but the beneficiary of the project is our music program. He has come up with the idea of, number one, collecting instruments from past students that maybe some people are adults in their 30s and 40s that were once part of the music program, the band here at Saddlebrook, and no longer using instruments, but they're in an attic or in a basement, and reaching out to see if they would be willing to donate those instruments to our program. So in a time when we're facing very, very difficult times with budgets and making sure everything moves ahead, and I think we're in a pretty good place right now, but certainly this is really commendable. And in addition to that, he was in charge of sponsoring a concert that just took place on Friday evening, and the intent for that concert was to get money to fix the instruments that they collected. So this is just a win-win, and I'm very proud of William Mulder.
Moving on with our students, again, looking at our students that have excelled in academics, we're pleased to present the top of the class of 2017, our valedictorian and salutatorian, David Gill and Gladys Phillip. David plans to attend Babson College and major in finance. He's a member of our cross-country team, the Science National Honor Society, the Marine Science, the Astronomy Club, the Outdoors Club, and the Photo Club. David's goal is to go on to be an entrepreneur. I don't believe David is with us tonight, but please give him a big round of applause. And Gladys Phillip, I've known for 4 years now, is an outstanding student, beyond just excelling in academics, is a very generous, giving person. Her goal is to become a pediatric emergency medicine physician, and she volunteers for basically every organization club in our school. Somehow finds time to be in the Environment Club, the Student Council, the Falcon Flyer, the Unicorn, the CSI Club, the Mayor's Youth Group, the list goes on. So please welcome Gladys Phillip. In the area of sports, Giovanni Gutierrez is here tonight, and if you follow our Twitter feed, you'll see that over the last several months, Gio keeps racking up numerous records in shot put, including a school record throw of 62 feet, 8 inches, and 3/4. Tremendous accomplishments this year for Gio. He captured the 2017 Indoor Bergen County and Group 1 Shot Put State Championships, finished second in the State Meet of Champions, and placed 4th at the Penn Relays, with a school record throw of that 62 foot, 8 inches, and 3/4. Giovanni has moved to 7th place all time among Bergen County shot put throwers. And this spring, he looks to defend both the state and county shot and discus championships. Congratulations to Gio. You're representing Saddlebrook well. Come on up. In the area of service, we'd like to recognize Nicholas Parisi, who volunteered his time and expertise to design the Saddlebrook Township Access for All Committee and Middle School, High School STEM Academy logos. He really exhibits maturity and professionalism beyond his years, evident by his collaboration with Mr. Kay and myself to design these logos. He's patient, he listens to feedback, and never misses a deadline. I'm confident that Nicholas will be successful in whatever career he chooses. So please come on up, Nicholas. Now we're going to introduce Mr. Kudin, who took over as our choral director this year. He had tremendous shoes to fill for an already outstanding program and is doing great things with our students. So please come on up, Mr. Kudin. Don't forget this tomorrow is the concert from Middle High School, so hopefully we have a bigger crowd tomorrow night for our choir. So, Mr. Kudin.
Well, over the last year and a half, I've been absolutely privileged to work with some fantastic students who have worked so hard on their singing, and they make me proud every day. The first group of students that I'd like to recognize is a group of students that were selected into the 2017 Bergen County Chorus, and as you can imagine, with a group like that, these students had to work very hard on their own, on their audition material. We worked together. They had to go through an audition, and they went through a series of rehearsals and a really successful concert. Would you like me to read the names, Mr. Lawler? Okay, the names of the members of the Bergen County Chorus for 2017. Summer Alfonso. Allison Beckus. Emily Beckus. There's one more Beckus. Jonathan Beckus. Micah Mazzone. And Tristan Chapman. The next list of students, again, a tremendous achievement. These students were also selected into an honors choir, except this wasn't county, this was all region, and this is the best of the 7 counties in the North Jersey area. And the members of the 2017 North Jersey Region 1 Chorus are, please stand when I call your name, Kushi Patel. Allison Beckus. Emily Beckus. You guessed it, Jonathan Beckus. Michael Mazzone. Tristan Chapman. And a new name, Marco Tobas. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to invite Mrs. Coffey up to say a few words about the singers in the middle school program. Mrs. Coffey.
Good evening. Thank you for having us tonight. I do want to say this is lovely because being the vice principal of the middle school, I normally only see the children when they are being disciplined. So this is a pleasure to come here tonight and congratulate them on all their hard work. They work tirelessly to really, I really can't say how much they work. They're here at night, after school, on the weekends. And not only do they work so hard to be a part of the choral program, but they also work so hard to be academic students and achievers. And we are really, really proud of them this evening. So, without further ado, Sabrina Sanchez. Robert Capinas. Samuel Sanchez. And Thomas Wojcik. And now I'm going to give it back to Mr. Gooden.
The last group of singers that I'd like to recognize just recently auditioned for a very prestigious group. And these 4 singers auditioned about 2 weeks ago, I believe. And we just found out results, I think, just last week. Am I right, singers? Yeah, it happened very last minute. But we had 4 singers that successfully auditioned and were selected to represent Saddlebrook in the New Jersey All-State Chorus. And those singers are Allison Beckus, Emily Beckus, you know you have to get Jonathan Beckus. Jonathan Beckus. And last but certainly not least, Michael Mazzola. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gooden, and please don't forget to come up tomorrow night to that excellent concert. I'm calling it excellent because I know it will not be anything less. However, if I knew that all of you were going to be here, we could have done a couple of songs tonight. And I can't help but thinking with that Beckus family, it must be like The Sound of Music. Sounds good. At this time, Ms. Jenkins will come back up and acknowledge 2 of her students.
So just recently, I received some news regarding 2 of our students who participate in our TAG program, which is our Gifted and Talented program. And they are 2 of our 5th graders. They work with Mrs. Augustine, who actually works across the district in our G&T. And she also has very unique contacts throughout the state through some of the associations that she belongs to and through organizations where she serves outside of school time. And one of those contacts brought her into contact last year with the author of Bedtime Math Stories. And 2 of our students were selected from their submission to have their ideas appear in that next children's book. There's like a that went across the crowd. So Toria Owens and Emily Trainer both submitted their ideas, and Emily asked the author the question, how many leaves would be on a tree, mathematically? And Toria asked if we all stood holding hands around the entire earth, what would that measurement turn out to be if we were all joined in hands around the earth? Which is just, from a children's perspective and from a parent's perspective, it's just such a beautiful question for both of them to ask. And the book that's coming out is called How Many Guinea Pigs Fit in a Plane. It will be released in June, and I have purchased 2 copies in their honor for the Long Memorial School Library. And if they can come forward and be recognized at this time, that would be wonderful.
Invite Miss Patricia Eckel. Yes, come on.
Good evening, everyone. Every now and then, a principal has a teacher that they work with in their school who just exemplifies professionalism. She's somebody who cares very deeply about the students, who cares deeply about her colleagues. She volunteers for just about every committee that exists. And in our school, this teacher also serves on our IRS committee that, again, is all about helping students. So it is with great pride and pleasure that I present the Smith School nominee for the Bergen County Teachers Recognition Program, Mrs. Susan Nestor.
Skip one, so Mr. Lawler, come on up.
You don't have to clap for me again, it's okay. And I promise this is the last time I'll receive it tonight. Before I go into the middle school, high school representative for the Bergen County Teacher Recognition Program, I just would like everyone to please give Darren White a big hand and just welcome him. Come on, Darren. This is the second year we've run the Bergen County Teacher Recognition Program here in Saddlebrook. It's a great program in that the nominees come from peers, and then it's selected by a committee of myself in the high school with Mr. Quinn, Ms. Kulik, and Darla Matsakis. There were 9 staff members nominated for the middle high school, and it becomes a very difficult decision. What we try to do is look at some of the qualities we feel really exemplify an exceptional teacher. And some of the things we came up with was commitment to student learning, experts in their content, their resources for their peers. They assume leadership roles in the building. They support building district initiatives, and they're very open to growing professionally. That's something I'd like to just step back is we nominated Kim Salma, an outstanding teacher of science in our high school, a teacher who, I hope someday my own children would have a teacher like Ms. Salma. So congratulations, and well deserved. And
One of our third grade teachers at Long Memorial has a unique skill set in that she's not just certified as an elementary school teacher, but when she pursued her master's program, she did that within the field of guidance. And I think that makes her uniquely poised when she is teaching literature to our students to hit some of those novels from a position of character education. And her students are tremendously engaged every single time you pass by her classroom. There's a favorite book I have for literacy. The author is Donna Ellen Miller, The Book Whisperer. And when I think of Laura Silvers and the way she engages in her classroom, it's exactly the kind of teacher that I think she has lived her life to be. The subtitle of that book is Awakening the Inner Reader in Every Child, and that is exactly how she dedicates herself to our Long Memorial and Saddlebrook kids. So congratulations, Laura Silvers, Long Memorial Teacher Week.
Last but not least, as far as principals are gone, Ms. Violetti from Franklin School.
There's plenty I can say to honor Franklin School's recipient of this award. Amy Burns, our school counselor at Franklin School, is very well deserving of this. As John Muller explained, it did not come from me, it came from the staff. There's an entire annual committee that came and chose Mrs. Burns. I just want to share with some of the comments my staff stated about Mrs. Burns that shows how deserving she is. They spoke about the mental lessons she does on character education, how they're interactive and relatable. She wears many hats. She's our anti-bullying specialist. She's INRS leader, 504 leader. She does small groups, bucket fillers. She works with me on family days and whole school assemblies where she works with the students on presenting and performing skits that usually involve one of our character ed traits. She decorates our walls with our stairwell, with drops of kindness that make our garden grow. She does our bucket filler showcase. She set her own goal to work with careers on students this year, along with the character ed lessons that she completes. So there's pictures of each student holding a sign as to what they want to be when they grow up in our hallways. It lines up all our hallways at Franklin School. She goes above and beyond for children and staff. She's always professional and enthusiastic. The children always come first. She manages to achieve the perfect balance of being caring and compassionate, but also being realistic and holding students accountable for their actions. This is one of my favorites from one of my young staff members. She's the reason I became a teacher. She welcomes feedback and always follows up and checks back in because her concern and intentions are genuine. That's what's so important. Mrs. Burns always asks for feedback after every meeting we have. She'll stop in my office and ask, how did it go? What should I have done differently? What do you think about this? She's always willing to learn and improve. And the follow-up. I'll use INRS as an example because it's an easy one to use. She'll review every intervention that we have, every intervention that we create with one of our students. She'll sit with that student, she'll sit with that teacher, she'll explain each one. But then that's where a really great educator would end. She takes it a step beyond, and a week or two later she'll follow up with us, the teacher, is this working, is that working? She'll go to the student and ask the same thing. And that's just one of the reasons why it pushes her to that excellence level of being an educator. One of my favorite things is listening to Amy say to students, I hear you saying. It's true counselor speak. So at the end of them talking, she'll say, what I hear you saying is, and she'll restate it. So I hope that you all hear me saying, hear what I'm saying this evening, is that Mrs. Burns is fully deserving of the recognition she is receiving with this award. Franklin School is moving forward with our courtyard in memorial of Nurse Karen Kenny. And I see John Tui here, and I just also want to acknowledge that he offered his landscaping help fitting people. He donated their time and labor to the service. I just want to thank him.
And I just want to acknowledge one more person. Someone who's dedicated the past 2 years, actually came out of retirement a little bit, is living here in the state of New Jersey by herself, because her husband's in Florida enjoying his retirement. But she's very, very dedicated to everybody at Smith School, has done an excellent job. We'll miss her next year, but we all want to thank you, Miss Eckel, for doing an outstanding job. And just so you know, the Board of Ed behind me, I'd just like to go right around the table. We're starting with the tall gentleman that was just standing here, Mr. Mike Akamondo, the board president. Mr. Param Singh is our vice president. And I'm looking that way, I'll start to Master Steve Quinn, who's standing. Mr. Tim White. Angela Robinson, our business administrator, Ray Karate. On this side, Mr. Joseph Nagito. And Mrs. Ottarelli. So, I want to thank all of them for letting me do this. I know it's taking extra time out of the night, but this is so important. Again, being recognized for your accomplishments is something we have to focus on. Spreading the positive word is something we need to focus on, and sharing each other's hard work is something we need to do together and in collaboration with the whole community. So I really thank you for being here, but before I sign off, I just want to extend a big thank you to this poor lady, Miss Gina Galvin, my administrative assistant. this guy's bothering her, making all these certificates and trying to get these things, and they're putting stuff in frames, but it was well worth it, and I truly thank you. Very, very hard work there. And certainly, without saying, I have to say that the mayor of Saddlebrook is probably the most visible person I've ever seen in the school system. So, Mr. White, thank you for being here. And of course, all of our administrators that joined us, Ms. Coffey, Mr. Lawler, Mr. Gelber, Mr. Coogan for coming in, Ms. Madison on the end, Ms. Jenkins, Ms. Violetti, Ms. Eckel again, and Dr. Santoro. Thank you so much. What I'd like to do quickly is first, if I get the board and all the kids that got certificates to stand up here for a couple of photos, and then all the adults that got certificates. Also, for those of you who are going to step out before our board meeting, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay. But there is some coffee and donuts and things that will be set up on the table out in the back. So please have some refreshments before you go. And truly, I want to thank all of you, all the parents and the families, work with our students and our children for doing such a great job. Have a great night.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, to open the meeting to the public. Motion. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Any residents wish to be heard? Okay. Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of this meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5-minute durations. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that the members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Student and employees have specific legal rights afforded by them by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Your name?
Hi, my name is Kathy DeBella. I live at 118 Alberta Drive in Saddlebrook. I have a question about the full-time preschool at Washington starting in September. I have a grandson who's in his second year there through the state for his speech delay and for his motor skills. We were told by a staff member at Washington School that he does not qualify for a full-day preschool because he's classified. I hope that's not true. And does anybody know that if it's true, or?
I think that's going to have to be done based on a case-by-case basis, based on information from the case manager, Dr. Santoro, and whatever the needs of the students are in particular. So basically that's what it is, because this is not typically a program that's set up with aides and everything else. However, we are flexible in listening and reviewing some points with the attorneys.
He doesn't have any.
Okay, so
Not in a wheelchair.
again, so it's going to be based on a one-on-one. I don't know who told you no, definitely, if that happened. We haven't even put out the application yet.
Well, we were told that if he was unclassified, if the parents unclassified him, then he would qualify.
Okay, so I really need to. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bella.
Jennifer Lean, 400B Saddler Road. If I speak where I can't, please let me know. Because it's going to tread lightly around the topic. I have concerns about the renewal of the 504 compliance officer. I've had a lot of issues with getting my daughter's 504 updated this year. She has a very simple 3-line 504 for attention deficit.
In September, I approached her because my daughter, per the accommodations guide, should have been eligible for a paper-based park test. I wrote her, I asked her about this. Her first response was, well, Southbrook's not a paper-based district, which I responded to her and told her that there's no such thing, that it's an accommodation, which she, as the 504 coordinator, compliance officer, should know. This went back and forth, and I had to bring the superintendent involved in this process for a couple of months. And it turned out all I needed was one little line added to her report when we went for her 3-year neuro visit in December. We got that done, no problem. In January, I was told, sure, she's got it, no problem. We're going to go ahead and order the test when the window opens for that. It took me until the Tuesday after the paper window opened, because I was begging and begging and begging and sending emails, which some were being responded to, some weren't, for me to finally get an updated copy of her 504 with one sentence added after over 2 months that it was approved. At that point, it was passed on and blamed on my daughter's counselor and said that she, as the case manager, should have been the one that added it, which I was really uncomfortable with because working in a school system, I know that the 504 compliance officer writes the 504s, case manager carries them out. I've also asked, because I have not been invited to a 504 meeting since my daughter entered the middle school, to be invited to her meeting this year, and the response was, well, we send a letter out at the end of the year with a copy of the 504 and saying we're going to meet on this date, and if you want a meeting, to let us know. That's not the procedure for that. The state of New Jersey, and I believe even federally, because 504 is a federal thing, you're supposed to schedule a meeting at a set date, at a set time, and send the parents an invitation to attend at that set date and that set time, and they have to meet about my child at that time, regardless if I want to come or not. That's not what's happening here. I don't understand how you can have a person continue as a 504 compliance officer when they've repeatedly ignored the laws and the procedures that they're in charge of. So, that's it.
Okay. So just so you know, that is something that I've taken seriously, and we are making changes there.
But her name is still in here. Her name is still in here.
But we're making changes in the process itself. That's all I can say at this time. Okay.
I think you all should really consider your decision tonight and take it very seriously. Because we have someone who really doesn't live up to what their job entails.
Michelle Levy, 45 William Street. I came here probably in February and spoke about my daughter who had problems with math. And I reached out to the math specialist. And he was supposed to get back to me in November. And when I came here, that was a big concern for me. And you listened to me. And to this day, I have still not heard from that man. This is a person who probably makes a lot of money to do not what he's supposed to do. He told me my daughter would not be left behind. And thank God that's true because she has a wonderful teacher, but it is not true of him.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to be heard? To close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
All in favor? Opposed? Roll call, Mr. Burke. Oh, I'm sorry. Turn it over to Mr. Ferrari on his report.
Thank you, President Accomando. This evening, I have the April minutes, A through E, checks for the month of May, and payroll for April, the budget transfers, and the board secretary and treasurer's reports for the month of March. Any motion?
So moved. Second.
In favor? Any discussion on that? Roll call.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes on all except for AE, the special meeting. I'm going to abstain on that. I wasn't there for that meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Nugito?
I'm going to abstain on check 51520, 51526, 51576, and yes for everything else.
Thank you. Mr. Quinn?
Yes, Paul.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes, but I'll be abstaining from all the minutes because I was not at those meetings.
Ms. Sanchez? Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Aroli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
I'm going to abstain A through D, and yes to everything else.
Okay, thank you. That concludes my report.
Okay, is the student rep?
Yes.
It is.
Good evening, my name is Gladys Phillip. I'm a school senior from the start of the season. Regarding middle school and high school news, join the middle school and high school for their spring concert tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. The high school and middle school choir and choir leaders led by Mr. Creel will be performing. Tomorrow night is also the sixth grade night. Parents of sixth graders are invited to learn more about the programs and meet members of the leadership team and the middle school. Programs will start at 6:30 p.m. in the media center, followed by a tour of the building and presentations in the classrooms. The annual SVHS Academic Award Ceremony, put together by Ms. Broad and the guidance department, will be also hosted on Thursday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Middle school students Viola Rudy and Lori Carrera organized the Dress Down fundraiser on May 4th to benefit the family of Gabriel Torres, whose home was destroyed by fire last month. The Saddlebrook MS NHS raised more than $1,300 for donation. Regarding athletics, good luck to all our spring sport teams as they prepare for the NJSI's LA state tournaments. Regarding Franklin Elementary School news, we're nearing our deadline for donations to Kenny's Courtyard to commemorate Karen Kenny. Thank you to all who have donated and to Brian and Anthony Landscaping, who's donating their time and labor to this project. Regarding Melnick Elementary School, on April 28th, the Smith School presented their talent show titled Smith School's Got Talent. The show features students in grades 8 through 6 with students performing dancing, singing, and doing math magic. The show was also featured a student and teacher act in which the new principal, Mrs. Wonder, was introduced to the guests in attendance that evening. The show was a great success, and the proceeds of the show have been donated to the Smith School families who lost everything in the recent fire. Thank you.
Thank you, Gladys. Very important. As far as the reports go, I reported on all the testing going on Monday night. Park and the AP tests are continuing to roll along. I remember if I addressed 2 weeks ago, we did the job fair at Westwood Regional, and very, very successful. Successful in the sense that we met probably about 500 teachers, and I want to give a special thank you to Mr. Gelber for spending the entire day with me, getting things together and doing a wonderful job of meeting everybody. Also, Mr. Lawler joined us and Mrs. Violetti. So it was a good day for us to meet the other school districts and meet other administrators and, more importantly, to meet candidates. In fact, we are already interviewing some of the young people that we met at the job fair, so it's proven to be successful. So just want to make you aware of that people are taking some extra time to work on a Saturday and trying to help out the district, and that's pretty much what the recognition was all about, and I'm proud of that. So moving ahead, I don't really have anything new to report to you at this time. I think we're all up to date, so back to you. Stop them on. Agenda? Yep, we're going to go student services on the agenda item. So just look at number 1, and in number 1, please review 1 through 6. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I will move to B, curriculum instruction. Oh, sorry. I'm wound up.
It's not Monday.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Roll call?
Yes.
Mr. Nugito?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Okay, E, curriculum instruction, technology program. Just the, appropriation of gifts.
Motion? All in favor? Roll call?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Under C, business support, guess you can look at numbers 1 and 2.
Discussion? We get a motion?
So moved.
Discussion? Mr. Craig?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Number 3 through 6.
Get a motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
Through the chair. In the new policy that we incorporated that there's going to have to be some sort of security.
I believe we came up, I don't know if we identified a number of 200 or something. But
Yeah.
I remember that being in the discussion.
But is there going to be a fee involved in that, and should it be listed here if there is?
The fee for security would have to go directly to the police department. So we're not really involved.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
I'd like to move 7 through 18. 7 through 18.
Get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
And numbers 19 through 27.
Did I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? You good, Ms. Leonard?
Just before I forgot, I mentioned Monday night, an issue with the bid for the 27. We had to reject the low bidder for material defect, paperwork that wasn't submitted, so we had to go with the second alternate VGD contract.
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
So moving on 28 through 30.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Get a roll call, Mr. Craig?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Gino,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mr. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. White,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to policies, 1 through 23, second reading.
Wait, we got,
Oh, sorry.
open the meeting to the public for comments on policies and regulations.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay,
Now we could look.
close the meeting. Motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Okay, now I can see that. Sorry about that. Approve the second reading of all policies, numbers 1 through 23.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Nagito?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. White? Mrs. Alvarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Moving on to letter E, personnel, regulations 1 through 14.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Nagito?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes, all but, number 14,
14 ID?
5.
Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli?
Yes, all except no to number 5 on exhibit 0510178.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
I'd like to move through numbers 15 through 23.
Motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Mr. Brady.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Nagito?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mrs. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes. Okay, committee reports.
The budget, there's nothing new, so, we're gonna do that, right?
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Buildings and grounds.
Nothing new to report.
Thank you, Mr. Nechito. Curriculum instruction.
On Monday, there was discussion about having a meeting in the future. Does Monday, May 15th work for all committee members?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Sure. 5:30.
5:30.
That work for all committee members?
Okay, so
I'm good at 7 too.
I just have that. Okay.
All right, let us know.
Okay, I'll get back.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Negotiations.
We're scheduling other meetings.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarelli. And policy.
Nothing's changed since we just approved all of our changes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alvarelli. Correspondence. Old business. New business. New business. I went on the kindergarten trip to Mansfield Park last Tuesday, I think. And I tell you, for the amount of money we pay in this county, it was disappointing for the kindergartners and teachers, because they were told that the merry-go-round would be open, the train would be open, the playground was a mess, and so we made the best of it. And the county, if they do see this, they do something about it, because we pay the highest taxes in the country in Bergen County. So the least they could do is make a nice park for the kids. Other than that, it was a great time.
I don't know what you did with the kids, but
They played.
okay, that's fine. Was it just that the zoo was closed as well?
The zoo had probably half the exhibits had no animals in them. Shame. Okay. Yeah. Okay, can I open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Anyone wish to be heard? Okay, I'd like to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it. Oh. Okay, I'd like to recess to close executive session to discuss matters covered by the attorney-client privilege per NJSA 10-46, Open Public Meetings Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action may be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Okay. I'm sorry, Chad. We're just going to adjourn the meeting and go into closed session. Just adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Motion?
So moved.
Second. In favor?